on, guys? Joe with OMGRC here. So today I ask you guys the question, what should I do next? Now what you're looking at in front of you right now is the stock components that came out of the Red Cat shredder. So these combined are only capable of 4S, so they say, right? So I've seen a video of someone else running that motor. This would be the stock motor, the 1300 kV motor, on a 6S. So my question is, should I just stick it back in there and go ahead and try to run it on 6S, and then whatever happens, happens? Now, I can't do that with that electronic speed control, but I can do it with the Mamba Monster 2 that's in there already. So that may be something I'm going to try. Also, I had some other ideas when it comes to other projects, so I'm going to list a couple projects, and you guys rank them how you want to see them anyhow. So starting off would be this one. We'll go ahead and, we put this motor back in there. We keep the electronic speed controller as is with the Mamba Monster 2, capable of 6S, and we're going to hope that this motor handles 6S, see what happens. Here's one good point of it. The benefit is that I can go with a lower gear on the actual motor because the motor that's currently in there is too big for the setup. Now I am going to order a motor mount that'll give me a little bit more flexibility, potentially at least to be mounted properly. So I'll put a link in the description, or I will send, I'll actually not even put a link in there. I'm going to go ahead and order the part, make sure it all works, do a video on it, and then I'll go ahead and show you if it's a good, good to go, viable option for anybody that's looking to upgrade their RC vehicle. Also, because this has an 18-tooth pinion gear in it, that's where I don't want, it's too high of an, it's, for me, honestly, I need to go with a lower pinion gear, but the unfortunate part is the motor is close as it can get to the spur gear, so that's that on that part of it. Anyway, I'm going to go ahead and leave it at that this is number one option. We stick the old motor back in there and go ahead and run it on 6S and see what happens. All right, well, then we can maybe put a fan on there as well because we'll have a little bit of space. But anyway, that's project number one. Guys, so project number two, let me know, is that this is it has a fused motor that I put in there along with a 4S capable electronic speed controller. So this fused motor, this was something I picked up a few years ago, and it came out of a Slash 4x4, a Traxxas Slash, that someone had put in there. Obviously not the factory one, but I ran it on 3S. The guy was running it on a 2S, and then potentially on a 3S, and it screamed on 3S, literally. I don't know how much it really liked the 3S voltage going to it, but we're going to do it again anyway, because it still survived. Now, so that's what I'm going to do. That'll be another project, so you guys let me know what you think, if this one is something you want to see before the shredder. Anyway, that's project number two. All right, guys, so project number three, not one I sell, but it's been sitting on the shelf for a very long time. And it's been disassembled. I sold some parts off. It was a brushed rustler. So, as far as you don't get any adjustabilities or anything like that on it. But I did upgrade it as far as the aluminum shocks on there. It was one from a previous build, just kind of switch out parts. But the main factor is these motor layouts that we have here in front of us. So we put this big old beefy castle. This is kind of like, oh, it's been there, done that kind of thing. But, I haven't done it. And I figure, well, I'll leave it up to you guys if you want to see something like that anyhow. And we'll figure out a way to see how fast this thing goes. We have some GRP tires that are there also, so we can go ahead and slap those on there. I do have adapters for 17 mil because these tires have been on this vehicle before. But it is two-wheel drive. I do have a wheelie bar for it as well that we can slap on the back because it's going to do wheelies instantly with either one of these motors, to be honest with you. So anyway, we need to put some weights up in the front just to kind of help with a little bit of that. And I took the weight out. I had a weight in there in the beginning. I've never really done any speed runs with this vehicle. I just stuck the tires that were on there because it came off of another vehicle that I had ran, which is the MP9E, which is a Kyosho buggy. Anyway, getting back to that, you guys want to see this one just for the heck of it. Let's see, maybe we can get it on camera as far as how fast it's kind of going a little bit, or at least show you if we throw a cheap camera phone in there with a GPS on it. So anyway, that's what we're going to do. That'll be number three. You guys can leave a comment below and let me know if that's something you want to see or nah. All right, so project number four, the Fortec by Traxxas. This is vintage. If you guys seen it or not, didn't get a lot of views on YouTube on that one. No problems. I knew that wasn't going to be anything exciting because it's an old RC car anyway. So do we stick a brushless system in there and see how it see what happens. We will need to replace the tires that are on there, those wheels, because if you saw in my previous video anyway, is that the tires came right off the rim. Now I could re-glue them or whatever like that, but they have no traction anyway. So with the brushless system, we're gonna go ahead and we'll need to adjust the slipper clutch that's in there, along with the body post. As you can tell, it already came off anyway, just because there was nothing left of the actual body post. So when it hit something, it just popped the pin right off there. It was a little less. Anyway, and so this electronic speed controller, this is the one that was out of the shredder anyway. So we can just throw that in on this little system here and see what happens with it. So I think it'd be fun. So let me know what you think about that one. Number 5, it is our last option here as far as projects. Let's go over this one real quick here. Brush system. It is stock completely, and it's able to run on a 3S. This one over here, it is not stock. It does not have the same brushless Orion system in there. It does have a Hobby Wing system in there. It's a 3200 kV motor. The motor is able to handle a 3S, where the electronic speed controller that's in there can handle a 4S. It was a combo, but the motor sets the limit with the 3S. So I'm gonna say it's only, we're gonna call it, it's, how you wanna say, it's handicap as of right now. It only has a 24 tooth pinion gear in there. I need to upgrade that to 32 to a 34 tooth pinion gear, so we're going to up it to like 8 to 10 teeth on that one. So that's going to definitely boost it in its speed and overall performance anyway, I'm going to guess on that part of it. But we want to get a baseline, so we're going to get a baseline. How fast does this guy go on 3S, and how fast does this go on 3S? We'll do that, and then what we'll do is we'll pump it up, where we're going to go ahead and put a brushless system in here, capable of a 3S as well. We'll do that fuse motor in there, and we'll battle up against basically we'll be battling itself at that point in time. We'll see how fast it can go with the stock gearing and such. Then we'll do this one. We'll go ahead and get that other gear, and we'll see how fast it goes. And then you'll have a good idea. Oh, this one's maxed out with this motor, but if you put this other motor in there, you can get higher RPMs and such and so forth. So, it might be something best. I'm not going to run the same exact motors, but at least kind of, everybody gets different things. So I'm not going to get all crazy about it, but I'm at least that's where I put this motor in there, and we can kind of go from there. So anyway, tell me what you think about all these different options, and we'll go from there. If you want, I can go over this vehicle a little bit more real quick, and let's just do that before we close this all up, just to kind of to show you guys. So if you do decide to get the vehicle, and at least you know what's underneath the hood, more or less. So dealing with this one right here, you can see the Hobby Wing system that's in there. It is the Easy Run Max 10. 10 meaning it's a 10 scale electronic speed controller. That's what they do there, 2 to 4S LiPo. But this is the Easy Run, and this wire here, it's not a censored motor. It is sensorless, and this is just for temperature. I don't know if you can see that. If you can see it. Anyway, that's just a sensor for temperature that's coming out of the motor. All right. So that's that on that part of it. Again, we want to upgrade that motor. This aluminum drive shaft is not what comes stock in it. That's an upgrade. It was like $8 to $10 or something like that for that. So it was plastic, and you probably can see it maybe a little bit. Anyway, it rubbed in there. It was flexing. It just wobbles because it was at a higher RPM. Anyway, just because it had a plastic drive shaft in there. I think you guys can kind of see, like, I'm seeing a little bit of, I see aluminum caps here. Oh, but I'm seeing aluminum here. I see aluminum brace here. This actually has aluminum drive shaft in it as well. We'll see how well all this holds up when it comes to the brushless system. One thing also is that I kind of feel like this one might be doing better. It depends on the quality of this metal and everything like that. But what I'm talking about is the dog bones. They're all steel, so the whole drive line is a mix of aluminum and steel, and there's really no plastic as far as that's touching the drive system. Where this one here, as far as the dog bones go, they're all plastic, even just the hubs itself. So those are plastic. No adjustabilities on when it comes to that, which at this point I really don't care. But you have your battery tray. You're kind of limited to that. You can adjust the height also. You can see like where so that does give you some flexibility in that, or on that part of it. The chassis, it's not bad at all. feels pretty premium as far as the plastics that are used on it. When you feel this one, the plastics are definitely softer, but that could be a good thing also. Anyway, I don't want to get into too much on that part of it because really the battle is just going to be, we're doing kind of a price point to see how fast we can get this one. But again, it's not going to be a complete fair battle. That's it. I'm going to leave it at that. You guys know what I'm talking about when it comes to the fairness, that we're talking different motor in there. So we're not talking stock against stock. This is just for the fun of it, just to see what we can do. Anyway, if you guys like the channel, definitely think about considering subscribing to the channel. Also check out omgrc.com. You know, that's where you can get all your RC goodness. Also, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Until next time, this was Joe with OMGRC. You guys take care. Later.